After finally settling in as queen, Elsa suddenly begins hearing a strange familiar voice calling to her from a distance. In an attempt to further contact this voice, she awakens the vengeful elemental spirits of earth, air, fire, and water. Elsa and Anna soon realize the answers only lay in the enchanted forest of North Aldra, which has been walled off from the rest of the world from a mist after a conflict between the two lands of Arendelle and North Aldra. Said conflict caused the elements to create the mist that prohibits them from entering right off the bat. However, enchanted forests provide opportunity for transformation, and change is coming, whether the sisters like it or not, and soon they'll just have to let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. This is Frozen 2. Okay, so, yeah, basically, I'll take a couple of kind of spoiler things off the bat. The parents are still dead. They're not alive. There is something that leads into that. I'll try not to spoil too much of that, but yeah, they are still dead by this. They didn't do the Hey Arnold Jungle movie plot where they're still alive. And two, the other thing is, I guess if anyone was expecting like this to be like Elsa's love story where, she meets a guy or anything like that, no, that doesn't happen either. Nothing of that nature seems to help. It's just, they find out clues about their past. Basically, there's the Northaldrins and the Arendalians. I guess that's what the people from Arendelle, whatever. The people from Elsa and Anna's homeland, and it seemed that there was this peaceful thing going on, and it was Elsa and Anna's grandfather that was brokering this peace, and they constructed a dam in this area that was, again, it was supposed to help things out. And then suddenly this conflict broke out, and the elements got angry and seemed to just wall off the forest. And then, except for Elsa and Anna's father, who turned out was rescued by their mother, who is North Aldrian. Yeah, this isn't going to get confusing at all. Yeah, they basically find that, and as this is going on, one of the subplots is Kristoff he's getting ready to propose to Anna, but he keeps bungling it, and he finally does that at the end of the movie. And so from there, though, it's again this is really more about the sisters than it is any of them. Olaf is along. He's not as annoying as I thought he was in the first one. Like, obviously, in the whole exploitation that happened with that character afterwards, I thought he was pretty well handled in this. He had some moments, but it was spread out evenly. I think it wasn't too terrible. And they meet up with, it turns out there are Arendalian soldiers who were walled off in the mist, and there are North Aldrians who were walled off in the mist, obviously. And they're sort of like an uneasy peace when they meet up, but they meet up with both of them, and they discover Elsa's powers, and they realize who she is after Olaf basically recites the story of the first movie. And she also Elsa continues to hear this noise that calls to north, which it calls to the River of Memories, which is something they learned was a story they'd also heard as children. It's the River of Memories, Alta Holton. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is tough because I got a lot of weird words to try to remember here. Anyway, so she's trying. Elsa is trying to basically find this on her own, but Anna keeps tagging along. And again, basically the sort of motif is, that you can still be, a little bit is change is coming and it's inevitable, and sometimes you kind of have to just roll with it. And again, sometimes that change means that those people who are always there for you might not always be there for you. And they do find out, while they're exploring this, they actually do come across the parents' ship. And they said, well, I thought they'd drawn in the South Seas. What's going on here? And they find a document that said, and a map to Alton Holton, and it turns out that they were heading to that place to try to see if that was where the nature of Elsa's powers comes from, because there are the four elements that I mentioned, but there's actually this fifth element that's supposed to be this binding force for all of them. And basically, yeah, there's a few more revelations in that, but yeah, basically they were trying to get up there through this dark sea that you see in the beginning of if you saw the teaser trailer where Elsa's running and keep freezing the sea to try to cross it. You know, they tried. Elsa, the parents tried to sail into it, and they got swallowed up by a tidal wave. And the dam that's in there, if they break the dam, the other part is that if they break this dam, it's going to flood down and it's going to destroy Arendelle. So they can't do that, except they kind of, well, I'll try not to get too far into that. And the elements are basically like holding Arendelle hostage, because Elsa woke them up with her singing the big one, which is, oh, what's it called now? Oh, Out in the Unknown. That's the big song from this one. You know, and her singing that basically woke them up, and they started kind of attacking the city, like there was an earthquake and strong winds, and everything except water because of the dam. And yes, the dam is a central plot point in this, because eventually Elsa realizes that she needs to go to Altenholten alone, and she can't put Anna in danger anymore, after realizing that their parents were killed trying to get there. So she basically tricks Anna away, like she says, hey, look, I know you've always been there for me, and I understand, and I know you're never going to leave me, and that's why I have to make you leave me. And she whisks her and Olaf away. Basically what happened with Kristoff here, Kristoff accidentally got left behind. Like they got, the sisters got called away and left without him as he was preparing this elaborate marriage proposal. So yeah, he kind of gets left behind. Then Elsa leaves Anna and Olaf behind. She gets to Altenholten and she discovers the dark truth, which is that because the North Aldrins are magic wielders, the grandfather didn't really trust them, and he said, look, if we build this dam, it's going to starve the land, and it's going to make them kind of placate to us because we'll be able to work out a deal. And he's actually the one who plotted this whole conflict happening. And so the key is to destroy the dam. You know, that means destroying Arendelle. And so I think you kind of see how the rest of this plays out. I'll spare you the rest of it, so I'm not giving away too much of the damn plot. But so overall, I would say it's really good. This is a real good, again, character study, much like the first one, where they're kind of playing with some of the tropes around again. You know, you get the idea of this. It's a center. The relationship is the center of this, but it's not the center. You know, the typical Disney romance type stuff. It's the sisters' relationship with each other, and realizing that again, when the changes start to come, and the separations must sometimes occur, that you can still care about each other even if you're not there together all the time. As if you again, I'll try to spare you too much of the ending. If I do have one complaint, it's that I feel the ending was a tiny bit rushed. Without giving away too terribly much, because I probably already have. Without giving away too terribly much. It's like, oh man, this is really good to happen. Oh man, this is going to be. Oh no, wait, never mind. It's been stopped. It came a little too, like the ending was a little rushed, but other than that, like good characterization, good songs. Like I said, I know the Out in the Unknown song is going to be the big one that everyone really remembers from this, but I actually liked one of the first songs in the film, which was it was kind of the town and its busy day and everything type song, as they're planning some type of festival or something. And you kind of get the song is again about the inevitability of change, and change is like it's inevitable, It can be good, it can be bad, but you don't really know it's going to be. But as long as you find the good and do the right thing, the change should at least be all right for the most part. Like I said, there's also another point when, like I said, Kristoff accidentally gets left behind. Kristoff and Sven get left behind, and he's seeking a consolation because, again, he's bungled his marriage proposal. And he starts singing, and they basically just turned it into like this music video. Like, there's a point he's walking, he's singing, he happens across a pine cone that's dangling down like a microphone, and he literally starts doing the hand to the ear, singing into the microphone bit. They do like the cross dissolve, the multi-bodies, the looking at the camera, the looking away from the camera, the reindeer in the background singing, providing the background songs. Him finding Anna, reaching out to hug her, and then her fading away. So like all these music video tropes are in it, and it was really funny. But yeah, a lot of kids in the audience, so it really held them. Like, there was only a couple of times I think kids got a little rambunctious. That's when something happens I'll try not to get into. But so yeah, overall I'm going to be giving Frozen 2 an A. It more than holds up to the original. You don't have to worry about this watering down the product at all. That being said, I'm not anxious to see a Frozen 3 anytime soon.
It's good to be a princess. Cinderella knows there's magic. Listen! Right down to her toes. It's good to be a princess. Just a spell. Her beautiful rose breaks the spell. Her rose lights up. Even Sleeping Beauty makes a sound. Magic jewels on her crown. It's good to be a princess. Light up the room. Each Disney Dazzling Princess doll has a light-up feature and musical sound, each sold separately.
Okay, trailer time, and we actually got quite a few new trailers in this, and well, we got quite a few trailers in general on this, so let's get right to it. First off, we have Cats again, Spies in Disguise again. Then our first new trailer, Little Women, the Greta Gerwig remake of the Louisa May Alcott novel. Kind of interesting, I guess. Then we got SpongeBob, Sponge on the Run, and Scoob, the Scooby-Doo cross-universe reboot movie. I'm trying to figure out what it is exactly, because I keep hearing they're trying to build to a cinematic universe, but this is also an origin story for Scooby-Doo, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Then we got Rise of Skywalker again, naturally because it's a Disney movie at least. We got Soul, the next Pixar movie after the next Pixar movie, which is Onward, which is the last trailer we got. So yeah, Soul, then Onward. Okay, so next video after this should be on the NXT War Games, then Survivor Series, then the next movie is going to be Knives Out. That'll probably be up Thanksgiving morning-ish. Maybe I'll hold it off for a day. I don't know. And then after that, it'll be the random trade review on New Avengers: The Century. See you all next time. Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.